Hi, friends and family. Hey, fools. Hey, loved ones. How y'all doing? How's all of yous? All you. It's all about you. It has always been you. All your love for all of you. And so, yeah, those are the things that I'm getting today. Is that, yeah, our love has been given to us. Yeah, to receive, to be, to give, to share, to experience, and to dream. And so, yeah, it's all about that. Like love and like continuity and simplicity, yeah, and wholeness and unity and the reunion, yeah, and the unity of peace, fertility and creativity, and being and becoming who we are, growing into who we are, discovering, remembering, and being who we are, loving who we are, knowing who we are, freeing who we are, loving all we are, and caring for all we are. Showing that care, expressing that care, choosing and claiming all of that care. So, yeah, what I've been doing the last few days, couple weeks is working with like some of these old patterns and unconscious programs that keep me in a loop and at war with myself, that keep me in different story loops, chasing my own tails, um, at war with myself, defending myself. Yeah, and pretending, yeah, that I'm someone else. And not really like realizing until, yeah, now, like the whole like control mechanism around pride, like, and how I was using that to prop up my side. And so, yeah, now I have a little more clarity and a wider perspective to see into how I was sabotaging me and denying my own choices and my full right to be and my legitimacy. It's come full circle from 2016 all around to now, 2021, the day before Beltane. Yeah, it's just working on this self acceptance, self love, and this right to be all I am for all of me. So it's so funny and it's so cool and I love it and I'm so grateful and I have enjoyed the work that I've been doing the last week. Like I've really there's a new level of joy in it, and it is like all about always do your best, like taking that action. Yes, because it feels right for me, and because, yeah, it's just something that I get to choose for me. And if we're not expecting a reward or afraid of a punishment or afraid of, like, yeah, some kind of unpleasantness, yeah, we enjoy the actions that we take and we actually receive so much more. And so, just as a simple example, like yesterday, I got a huge burst of energy. And I have a Beltane circle planned for Sunday. And it just like, yeah, I love like every 6 weeks, like during these potent time frames, these potent windows of opportunity during the year and on the wheel of the year, these different points that bring us or move us towards, like, yeah, what we're moving into and through. I love it because it helps keep me on track, and it does give me like kind of, I don't know, just more of a reason to freshen up things and to switch up things and to change things or to move in through like the changes and kind of ride those waves. And it has like kind of helped me orient myself and navigate like through these energies, through this field of ever changing energy, transforming itself to create and become and to be all that it is, more of what it is. to create and to experience and to be and to dream and to cultivate and develop. Yes, this spiritual understanding and maturity and all the gifts that we have to receive, experience, be, share, create, claim, and receive. Yeah, all of it. So I really super appreciate, like, observing and acknowledging and preparing and celebrating and all of these holidays, these holy days. And it just brings so much to me, like just putting a little bit of energy into, like, yeah, and then matching the rhythms. And it's just really amazing. And I just love the opportunity, like, to be a part of it and to witness and to celebrate and to honor, like, all these gifts that are being given and are always here and accessible, waiting for us to notice and listen and respond and engage in union. So it's, yeah, just cleaning up my house the other day, because it was like, yeah, need to freshen up the space. It'll feel good to do some spring cleaning. It's just like, yeah, something that I wanted to do, not something that I thought I had to do, but just doing that almost all day yesterday, just cleaning my whole house top to bottom. And it's just like the whole day I felt so good, and I felt like, this feels good, and just feeling those feelings of joy, and like feeling like there is more energy that I have to draw upon and draw from. And yeah, feeling like some of those energy drains or those depletions or those energy leaks, yeah, have been like sealed up and contained. And so, like, all the things that were leaking to going towards pride, to defend me, to defend myself and my beliefs, and like my ways of being, my ways of doing things, my ways of seeing and just being me and experiencing me and choosing what I need for me. Like, I always felt like I had to defend all those things, because like always seemed like there was this judge that was like, wrong, 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 and you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're so wrong. So it was like there was this kind of, yeah, aspect of me that would double check everything and look it over and make sure that it like fit, and comparing it to something else that like was solid or like that made sense, and like, yep, that, check that off, that's approved, or something. It was just interesting, just seeing them like in my mental streams. Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but it does happen like in the astral or the dreaming body, or like yeah, just the mental plane in certain ways, in and through our imagination, and like our internal like dialogue, and like our attachments to the roles, the identities, the stories that we have and that we play in and play through and play at being. So I just wanted to share a couple things about sort of, yeah, some of the archetypes and the things, yeah, that relate. So yeah, all these themes, all these archetypal themes and messages for me to receive and kind of play with and work through. And so the dismemberment and the separation, the reunion, allowing my whole dual nature, my whole self, honoring, loving all parts of myself, fully allowing myself. So the guard, the nitpicker, the detective, the hunter, the protector, the performer, the queen, and the boss. The overseer. I kept imagining this overseer on this plantation with this whip. Yeah, the overseer that's like looking over everything and making sure everything's good. And just like, yeah, the judge. The superego, the perfectionist, the innocent, the saint, the angel, the sage, the inner teacher, the hierophant, the artist, the storyteller, the sister, the bride and the bridegroom, the spirit child, the child of light, the witness, compassionate witness, the fool, the friend, the hanged man, the chariot, temperance, the sun, the world, judgment, the tower collapsing and breakthroughs, the black panther, jaguar, tiger, bear, wolf, porcupine, skunk, badger, the cock, the raven, the stork, the sparrow, the robin, cats, parrot, dog, the watcher, the director, and the defender. And so, pride and the perfectionist, idealist, and the romantic kept me on the wheel, chasing the carrot on the stick for the approval, recognition, validation, feedback, proudness, pride, valuation, validation. That's what was eating me up inside. My pride and my vanity. My pride and my vanity. Yeah, false pride, false vanity. And not enough stories. And how I wanted others to see me, receive me, or show love for me, show up for me, perceive me and my value, worth, belonging, and legitimacy. I wanted them to validate me and my right to be me. I'm measuring my own worth on how I perceived that others saw me, or valued me, or measured me. Yeah, the scorekeeper, and the dick measurer, and the nitpicker. And so, like, some of these stories that would come up, it would be like, I wish I was important to you. I wish I was important to you as you are to me. Like, because I don't feel important. Like, I don't feel like I'm important enough, yeah, for your energy or your attention or your care of me. You don't have enough time for me. You don't have enough whatever for me. You're not giving enough to me. You're not giving me what I need. Yeah. And so that would cause some resentments because, yeah, there was this scorekeeper or this measurer measuring worth, measuring time, measuring value, measuring gifts, or measuring the exchange. But it didn't seem like an equal exchange a lot of the times. And like a lot of that too, like, of course, like, I'm a caregiver and I want to give care, and I love to give and I love to share, and I love to offer things just because it feels so good and so like free and so right, and I do have so much to give and so much to share. But then when I felt like, and I felt like a lot of the times I didn't ask for a lot, but when I did ask for something, then it was like that person was a ghost and they weren't there to help me get my own needs met, or to be in reciprocity with me for that exchange. Like, and then, yeah, that would make me feel like, wow, I just don't matter, do I? Like, I don't matter to you, or I'm not enough, or there's not enough for me. And so, like, making excuses for the other person and sweeping it under the rug, but then, like, having these unconscious resentments build up. And then, like, when something like that would happen again, just, like, cycling through that again. And, like, always feeling, like, dismissed, discarded, devalued, and, yeah, unimportant. Less than. So, yeah, just feeling unimportant and devalued, dismissed, undesirable, unworthy, not enough, bullshit stories, enough is enough. So, yeah, I felt excluded, unloved, and let's see, this is kind of small. Excluded, unloved, unwanted, betrayed, blamed, discarded, shamed, avoided, rejected, denied, abandoned, and judged harshly. So I was thinking about what I read in Letting Go about, like, yeah, those resentments and those disappointments and those expectations and how they set us up. Yeah, how we kind of set ourselves up for that, like, and it's emotional blackmail. And so, yeah, those are the things that I was having a hard time with this, the emotional exploitation. And then I was just so glad that I asked myself, well, how am I playing into this stupid fucking liar game too, like, as well? And then just seeing how, like, by being willing to open and see into, like, okay, well, how am I continuing? Where did I agree to continue this and keep this going? Because I'm just so done with it. Enough is enough. Like, I just, yeah. Like, what else can I choose for myself? And, like, what other choices do I have? And, yeah, all of that. So, like, the emotional exploitation and the emotional blackmail of expecting someone, yeah, or insisting on what we're desiring. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. So if I was following through with some of those things, some of those themes, and let's continue what's on this page here. So the cheerleader, the encourager, the leader, the empowerer, the empress and the emperor, legitimacy, legit I may see, my currency, my worth, my love, all my love for all of me, all my love for all of me, my self-love for all of me and we, knowing my worth and value, my legitimacy, seeing me and we, clarity, prosperity, claiming, knowing, owning, acknowledging, trusting, valuing, reevaluating everything, dual nature and integration for the integrity of the whole, of all parts of the whole, one love, one whole, dual nature and integration. So I was wondering where, like, I was denying my whole dual nature. Yeah, and I got this image and this, like, message from the divine feminine, and it was just like through just following impulses and curiosities and then being open to receive it, like through that reception. And it was like I've been I have all these pictures of dragons around me right now, and that dragon energy. And I just, like, I heard something that I was listening to on a podcast, and it really put things into a different perspective for me. Like, where I was actually denying my own, like, reptilian nature, like that primal, like, serpent energy, and that, like, force of that dark, like, that fertile dark, that, like, chaotic energy, that wild feminine energy. And it's just like, wow, it just became so clear, and it just humbled me so much. Like, how beautiful, like, that fertile dark and that holy dark is. And, like, how our vision has been, yeah, altered in some ways. And then, like, believing in those distortions that we pick up on, or that we've agreed to, or that we consented to, or that were superimposed or inherited or implanted, like those distortions of ourselves, like where we couldn't accept certain parts of ourselves, or we were told they were wrong or inconvenient, or they made others uncomfortable, and those kinds of things, or we were told that they were ugly or not right. And it's totally a lie. Bullshit stories, indeed. So just kind of like, yeah, downloaded this information, like, and I'm still processing, like, through it in certain ways, but it really did mean a lot to me to receive that, and to know, like, that part of me is legit, like that dragon energy, and like that chaos and that wildness. Yeah. So that protector and that primal, like that primal part, that primal urge to merge and to be, like, fully free, yeah, uninhibited by any limitation, and just be with me through all of me, through all I be. And just remembering to, like, a couple days ago, I was reading through Thunder Perfect Mind again, and how beautiful that is, and how much that means to me, like, to receive that again and see it again, and see into more of that, and more into me, into we, into she, into all the love we be. So that was, like, super humbling and super affirming. Like being willing to open and like accept and be with all of me. Let's see if this is still recording. Okay. Just getting used to new things. Yeah. Shaking it up. So the primal rage, the primal force, the primal instincts, the wild feminine, the primal urge, and the primal purge, the primal energy, the sacred waters of her mysteries, fertile darkness, chaos, the cauldron, and alchemy, fermentation and mortification, the sacrifice and the wandering. It was interesting to see these things today. The monster, the angel, the awakened human being, the dragon, the snake, and the reptilian, the hanged man, the bride and the bridegroom, the father, the mother, and the maiden, the mad scientist and the creature, the joker, sidekick, apprentice, the shadow side of the scientist, Igor, yeah, or Igor. The femme fatale, the narcissist, the gold digger, the people pleaser, the sex kitten, the adversary, the friend, the helper, and the companion. So the other day, my husband he put on Young Frankenstein, and it was just kind of funny to see that in certain ways about the monster and the monster discovering his own humanity, because all he really wanted was to inspire and love. But he was rejected and he was feared, and so that made him want to destroy everything around him because that's who he thought he was. And it's just like those false images or those false stories of who we think we are, who we believe we are, who we've been taught to believe that we are, and then like just being so angry and defensive and feeling so protective of ourselves and wanting to lash out and get back at others because we are not received. Like, we're not allowed to be like who we really are. So just like kind of looking at those themes and those things, those synchronicities. So remembering, surrendering, expanding, growing, becoming, and letting go. And so like all these birds came up again: the crow, the cock, the stork, the raven, and the sparrow, the badger, skunk, hawk, owl, bat, dragonfly, and coyote. And then some archetypes also came up, the myths and stories. Anana and Ereshkigal, like the descent and the ascent and the reunion and the return to wholeness and to fullness, truthfulness. Osiris, Isis, and Horus. And yeah, gosh, it was so funny, like how these things come up again, and just like randomly, and it just seems like, but it's no accident. And it's just so funny. Yesterday, all these themes, they kept emerging again and re-emerging and playing, and it was just like got it play, and it was just like it felt so magical, and it was just like okay. And instead of like checking that off of like, okay, this means I was right on track, it was just like, thank you, oh my gosh. And so it was like this toroidal field that I remembered, and it was just like letting it come in, and like all the things that like really do feed and nourish me, and just like allowing that to come in without needing to like attach to it or cling to it and like put it in my little scorekeeper notebook. You know, like yeah, like the tallying, the measuring, the comparing, yeah, and all of that. Yeah, like this ledger of accountability. But what I really realized was like, oh my gosh, thank you for helping me to be accountable to me. Like, and this is part of my self-value and my self-worth, and appreciation and gratitude, like authentic gratitude, in this accountability, like knowing my own worth and value, and taking that accountability, like, and not expecting or insisting that anyone else see that or validate that for me, because it's, yeah, it's unnecessary. Like, and like I get to surrender that now, and I choose that to be free. So however anyone reacts or responds towards me, that's really about them, and it's not about me. And so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so Osiris and Isis and Horus and that dismemberment, and the wandering and the gathering, collecting all of those lost, scattered parts and bringing them all back into one whole, and singing and weeping and crying, singing over the bones and breathing life back into the whole through remembering all those parts, those legit parts of the whole, and coming into reunion, coming into union, so that the third, the child of light, is born. Yeah. From the three, yeah, comes the one. Yeah. So like the one become two, the two become three, and then the three become one. And so it's like that Trinity, the Trinity themes and all those things coming up again. And yes, so without Set, the saboteur or the adversary, like this couldn't have come into being, like without his participation or his part in it, like where he was the jealous, like usurper, saboteur, and he is actually the one that, the initiator that scattered all these parts and made it possible for them to come back together. Yeah, with the birth of Horus and that new life. Yeah. So that is really interesting, like to be grateful for the adversary, because the adversary helps us expand and grow into who we are more than anyone else ever could. Like, it's kind of funny. There are challenges and facing, like, and confronting, certain parts of ourselves that we denied or that we suppressed or that we felt like we believed we had to hide. It's just, wow, bringing that all into the light. Yeah. To be purified. Alchemized. The creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer. The renewer, the regenerator, and the trickster. So, witch, wizard, magician, priestess. And this character from a Yorubic tradition, trickster archetype named Ishu. Ishu keeps coming up. Yeah. The light and the dark sides. Yeah. And then the Tor, and the Taurus, and the sign of Taurus, and the toroidal field. Yeah. That kept coming up as an awesome theme. And yeah, in so many ways. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. This is so magical and so cool. Like working on all this, and then like all these things like that just validate, like, yeah, all this truthfulness, yeah, all this love, like, for all. So fun stuff going on, pretty darn funny. I read some good things in Letting Go yesterday about pride, anger, fear, resentment, expectation, disappointment, and accountability. Surrendering and letting go of my fears, desires, and feelings consciously, and letting them show me what I get to choose for me, for my true well-being's needs, for my integrity and responsibility, my wholeness, fullness, rightness, my legitimacy. Full circle from 2016, the legit right to be, the legit right to be me, my legit right, to be all I am, all my love for all of me, all I am, my love for me, all I am for all of me and we, breaking through glass ceilings, coming home to me and we, coming home fully, becoming more of me, relinquishing pride and envy, fear and vanity, resentment and false perfectionistic standards of how I want it all to be, of how I want us to be, of how I want life to be, of how I would like to be seen, and what I believe we should not be, what we think we're not supposed to be, what we've been taught to believe and think, generational, cultural, and societal programming, indoctrination and conditioning, groupthink, hive mind, insanity, brainwashing, and so acceptance and allowance to become more fully free, remembering, awakening, and realizing for me, all we are, the love we are, our love for all of we, the love we are in need, the love we are so be, This love we are, this love we've been, this love we get to be. New love, enchantment, soulmate, signs, ideas, and inspiration, freedom in maturity. Yes, this new maturity. So many signs and synchronicities, blessings, gifts, opportunities, miracles, experiences, affirmations, confirmations. I did it. I created, claimed, and received all I really wanted and valued, loved, and adored. And you, and we all can too. Enjoy, create. Create this new. We get to be open to receive all we need and surrender and let love be free to be received. Let go of attachments and allow love to be. Allow love to be fully free to be received. Yeah. So fun to see the magic today, always at play, just waiting for us to notice and play, participate more fully. Enchantment, authenticity, slowing down and noticing. Receptivity, surrendering, allowing the unfolding, welcome home. Growing, becoming more of me, all I am, my love for me and we, becoming more of me. Remembering me and we, remembrance, remember dance, rememberment, a willingness to be whole, full, and complete. And so, yeah, that's one of the things. Welcome home. Welcome home. So that's what I heard Mother Earth say to me the other day when I got that download. And I was just like, so like just in rapture and in bliss, like, wow, like where I just knew like all of these things were true. And I did like, just wow, this is so full of gratitude and appreciation and humility. And she said, yes, welcome home, welcome back home. And so that was just such a good feeling. And such like, yeah. It's just such new support, like this new foundation of support. It's legitimate. Yeah, and built on like the truth of who we really are and all we really are, like the love we really are, and knowing that we're supported and that we're always held and it's always been like so. So wow, such a potent day, really. Fertility, heart fertility, and such good listens and shares all day, confirming to me that we all are connected and we all are receiving these love messages, truth and authenticity of the mystery of being, remembering all we are, connected, networks, transferring, yeah, like the boatman and the ferryman, yeah, across the rivers. Sharing, downloading, reading, flowing, riding the waves, receiving, expressing, praising, blessing, thanking, moving, celebrating, preparing, cleansing, freshening, renewing, choosing focus, recommitting, offering, forgiving, opening, softening, yielding, growing, and becoming, with love and service to all, one whole. Hello, little friend. My little Abby dog is here. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing, little friend? Hello. Dog medicine. Hey, doggy. Hi, sweet girl. How you doing? How you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. She's been a little under the weather, so it's good to see her up and at 'em. She's been sleeping the last like couple days. And so, yeah, I'm glad she's feeling better. She's my little senior dog that's like almost totally deaf and totally blind, but she does very well considering all like that, all of her like little limitations, but I'm sure she has ways to compensate as well. And it's helpful to have open space, yeah, for her to get through. And she kind of remembers like how, like to get around the house, she remembers like the layout and stuff, and she can find her way around. And I think like in a way that's like what we're remembering how to do like through like our senses. And that's actually something that I wrote about like earlier today. And so yeah, this actually is from today. So what I just shared was from yesterday, and today is April 30th, and I can't believe tomorrow is May 1st and Beltane, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about that, but I will probably yeah, do another video all about Beltane and like some of the really cool things that I found actually today, because I just like got a nudge, yeah, to prepare for Sunday, and I had never really done a Beltane circle in the last couple of years that I've been observing and acknowledging these holy days. For some reason, Beltane always got like skipped, or there wasn't like time, or there wasn't interest in it, or something like, yeah, something about it. Like, yeah, I don't know. But I didn't really know like all that much about Beltane. Like, I knew it was about flowers and like the maypole and like about union and fertility and all of that. But I also had no idea that it had a lot to do with value and worth and, yeah, all of these things as well that I've been working on. So it makes me super like joyful to know that like I'm in that rhythm, like and just like it's coming naturally and authentically like through me. And also like, yeah, just because of like inner yearnings and whatnot, like to care for myself, and knowing that this is what I really need for myself is to claim that self-value and that worthiness, that self-worth of I am worthy. Like, all of me is worthy of this love that I am. All of this love that I am. All of me is worthy of all of this love that I am. And so, excited for preparation, celebration, sharing, holding space, making room for all the new, full, whole, and true. New life, light, love, bursting within, forth and through, rising upwards, reaching through all you, to grow, blossom, expand, and renew, rising now through, all in through. We'll see what magic I can invite, ignite, and play with in and through, receive and open to, allow, welcome, express, intend, imagine, and choose. Co-create with love and joy and authentic gratitude, appreciation, value, and the beatitudes. Letting go of desire, fears, attachments, roles, judgments, expectations, descriptions, beliefs, stories, and identities. Letting go of old growth, cutting away what no longer is needed or mine to carry or aligned with where I am and want to go. Who I want to be and what I choose for my well-being. All my love for all of me. We. Letting go of pride, envy, jealousy, and greed, false perfection and comparison, better or lesser than stories, right and wrong polarities that keep me divided and at war with me. I choose peace and unity. I choose love for all of me. I accept all I am and receive all I am to be one with me, within me, the unity of peace. I choose to be one at peace. I am the unity of peace at one within me. I am the light, I am the truth, I am the resurrection, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. So, yeah. Humility, joy, and peace, my love for all of me and we, and all I get to serve and love in service to the whole of humanity and all beings connected to me. Soul family, and all the love we be, all the love she is, all we are and get to be, truthfully. I really have super enjoyed my shadow work and the revealings lately. It's felt amazing to work through some of these challenges and receive so many beautiful gifts, healings, and blessings. I really do love, honor, value, appreciate, and acknowledge myself, my willingness, and my gifts I've been given to be, share, live, embody, practice, play with, expand into, experience, and grow through, develop, offer, and choose. All forgiving. Seeing with new eyes the light and the fertile, holy dark, to help us shine and know our light, all this love we are, our true fullness, all that we are. So, yeah. And yeah, this is what I also wrote. So the Beltane, yeah, Beltane, bright fire or lucky fire. So this happens around May 1st, or when the sun is at 15 degrees Taurus. And so, yeah, it's traditionally, yeah, there's different dates for it in different places. There's all sorts of traditions. And so, yeah, May Day is what we're familiar with, May 1st, yeah. And then sometimes it's celebrated in around, yeah, just the first, there's different periods, like the first 2 weeks of May. So traditionally in Scotland, it's celebrated May 15th. And that was actually another yeah, some other things that I was kind of like picking up on. This was from April 29th. Sekhmet, Durga, Kali, Sarasvati, Lakshmi, Shanti, Shakti, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, Krishna, Dreamweaver, Ganesh, Hercules, Labors of Love, till we have faces, Psyche and Eros, Eagle and Dove, Osiris, Isis, Horus, Set, Nephthys, Descent and Ascent, Separation and Reunion, Anana and Ereshkigal, Arthurian themes of Merlin and Arthur, the Templars and the Scottish Rite Masons, the Essenes and the Magdalenes and the Grail knowledge, Gnosis, Jesus and Mary and the resurrection, 3 days, 3 years, and 3 weeks, welcome home, transitioning, threes, sixes, and nines, and 18, the Scorpio moon, illuminating, penetrating, transmuting, and rainbows, blue skies, sunshine, flowers, bees, and butterflies, appreciation, surrender, joy, faith, grace, trust, strength, gratitude, rapture, and peace. See the light and see the signs, compassion, humility, miracles and blessings, path of least resistance, flower of life, toroidal fields, the elements, imbalance, harmony, true resonance. And so, yeah, that was kind of cool. Like, yeah, certain themes and stories that were coming up. And a couple days ago, I wanted to, I just got a nudge, to look into this just because of my curiosity. And this is a Bible that we got a bunch of huge Bibles, really, to do book art with them, book carving and stuff. But I actually kept this because it was very different than what I've ever seen before. And I'm really glad I did. And so I had been looking through it. So this is actually a Masonic Bible. And it is, an ancient and accepted Scottish Rite record. And that's what that says in there. I don't know if you can see that at all. But anyways, it's got this dictionary in here and this glossary and just these maps in here, and it's just wow. It goes into Egyptian stuff, and yeah, I was just tripping out about how cool it is, really. Yeah, and when I first found it, I was kind of there was a part of me that kind of contractive energy, it didn't, I don't know, some of me there was fear of the unknown, or a fear of what I don't understand, or something like that, in certain ways. But yeah, because also of the just the preconceived notions about what Masons are. There are the dark side that uses it for manipulation and stuff, but it actually is connected to the Knights Templars and to the Arthurian lineages and the Grail lines and all of that, and the Magdalenes and the Essenes. And so it's pretty cool. And so yeah, there's a lot of awesome traditions from Scotland, and that's where some of the Celtic systems and Druidry and all of that come into play as well. And so it does really all relate in so many ways, and seen and unseen. But one thing that I found the other day that I had forgotten about, and it just came up in my writing, the Beatitudes. And so, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:3-10. And so, hey, that was awesome. Yeah. And yeah, let's share a little bit more about Beltane, and then some other things that relate, and yeah, and then I'll probably continue with another Beltane video, because what I read was so freaking amazing about self-worth and self-love, and about what Beltane can help us with in our alchemical work. So freaking just So joyful and so, yeah, so appreciative. Oh my gosh, like there's just, oh, not any words that can really describe like how freaking magical this is. Like really, like it's just like a child again, and just like so full and so free, and just enjoying this enjoy and in this peace. And this is like, yeah, this true self-esteem, this true love of being, and like loving who I am and loving being who I am. So, Beltane. We open to the god and the goddess of youth, the child of light, and it's all about sensuality. Like our senses and desires enliven our soul's vitality. Integration of the male and female aspects of the self has long been seen as one of the prime goals of the spiritual and psychotherapeutic work, and Beltane represents the time when we can open to this work fully, allowing the natural union of polarities that occurs in nature at this time, the opportunity to help us in our work, a work that is essentially alchemical, and that's from druidry.org. Nurturing growth, Father Sun shines brightly, warming Mother Earth, joining in creation. Yes, co-creation. Mayflowers in full bloom, the greening of the land, love songs, union, and fertility dances. And so, yeah, it's freaking awesome. And the last video that I shared, cock had come up, and his cock has been coming up several times. And so I went back to look at that description in my Signs and Symbols source book. And I also remembered, yeah, I was going to show this last time, but I didn't. But I'm going to share it this time. So this is like the wheel, the Will of Samsara. And in the middle circle here, I'm not used to this mirror thing. There's 3 animals that represent the 3 poisons, but they also represent other things. So the pig, the snake, and the rooster are here to represent like pride, or so some of, yeah, the rooster can represent pride and lust, but I think it also, let's see, let's look at this, anger. I pulled it up today on my phone. So the 3 poisons, and this is on learnreligions.com. So greed, yeah, greed and desire. So greed can take a lot of different forms, but a good example of lobha or labha would be acquiring things to elevate our status. If we are driven to wear the most stylish clothes so that we will be popular and admired, for example, that is lobha at work. Hoarding things so that we will have them even if everyone else must do without is also lobha. Self-glorification rarely satisfies us for long, however. It puts us at odds with other humans, many of whom are seeking self-glorification also. We use and manipulate and exploit others to get what we want and to make ourselves feel more secure, but ultimately this makes us more and more isolated. The antidote to lobha is generosity. So generosity of spirit. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's Lobha, lobha, or lobha. Yeah, greed. Lobha is represented on the wheel of life by the cock. It refers to desire or attraction for something we think will gratify us or make us somehow better or greater. It also refers to the drive to preserve and protect ourselves. The word lobha is found in both Sanskrit and Pali, but sometimes people use the Sanskrit word raga in place of lobha to mean the same thing. So the 3 poisons are hate, greed, and ignorance. Yeah. And so, yeah, those are the things that I am clearing within myself. And so, like, I just thought that was really cool, seeing that today. So in the center of the hub of the iconic Buddhist image of the Wheel of Life, usually you will find a picture of a pig, a boar, a cock, and a snake. The energy of these creatures turns the wheel of samsara, where unliberated beings wander and experience birth, death, and rebirth around and around. So these 3 creatures represent the 3 poisons, or the 3 unwholesome roots, which are the source of all evil and negative mental states. The three poisons are Lobha, Dvesha, and Moha, Sanskrit words usually translated as greed, hate, and ignorance. In Sanskrit and Pali, the three poisons are called Akusala Mula. Akusala, a word actually translated as evil, actually means unskillful, and Mula means root. The three poisons are then the root of evil, or the root from which all unskillful or harmful actions spring. It is understood in Buddhism that as long as our thoughts, words, and actions are conditioned by the three poisons, they will generate harmful karma and cause problems for ourselves and others living a moral life. Then doesn't just require following the precepts, but purifying ourselves of the poisons as much as we can. So yeah, just interesting, like, to look at that. The moha, or ignorance, we begin with ignorance because ignorance, represented by the pig, leads to greed and hate. So that's interesting as well. And I also have like this, this is actually like a little lucky pig here, and it's got 3 legs. Yeah, and it's a little Chinese symbol, like it's a lucky pig. So that's awesome that it can also hold those other qualities as well. And so I'll just leave it at that. And if anyone's interested, it's the 3 poisons on learnreligions.com. The unwholesome roots of our unease. Yeah, so how perfect is that? Just finding that today. And there's actually one more thing that I wanted to share. And I flipped this book open, Rise Sister Rise, because it is all about the rising and the stirring and the awakening and the rejoining and the revelry and all of that, like the rising right now, the rising of the light and the greening of the land and the stirring and the quickening and all of that. And I flipped it open today and landed on this page, The Return of the Magdalenes, from Rise Sister Rise by Rebecca Campbell. And I haven't read it yet. I just did it like literally like a minute before I pressed record. So before I began writing this book, I was visited by a consciousness known as the Magdalenes. The Magdalenes are priestesses from the Essene, Isis, and Avalonian lineages. Avalonian, Avalon. Powerful mystics and female scholars trained in the healing, mystical, Gnostic, Celtic, and sacred arts of Isis. They first came to me upon my first visit to the Red Springs and the Chalice Well Gardens in Glastonbury, where the Michael and Mary ley lines meet. It was there that I was given the title and energetic download for this book. Upon my second visit, I received more. My third initiation took place after a ritual with my friend Megan Watterson. For some time, I kept it tucked away in my heart, not even telling my publisher, because to be honest, it felt so much bigger than me. How could I talk about embodying feminine power in full when parts of me still denied her so? So how could I write about unbinding ourselves when I was still unraveling? How could I possibly write about healing lifetimes of persecution when I was still to finish doing so myself? How could I write about being held by the mother when at times I was still relying on my own strength? But the Magdalenes kept coming back, and I finally surrendered to the fact that the journey of rising is never done. As I described earlier, a surge of clients with a pattern of past life persecution kept showing up for sessions. Real-life Magdalene sisters from times past began appearing in my own life, midwives destined to encourage and hold the space as I unbound myself from my own patriarchal methods of survival, protection, and ways of being that this book demanded from me, from us, as we forge a new path for women into this new age. The Magdalenes are not one woman, but rather an order of consciousness, awakening in so many of us and rising all over the planet, many of us ancient Magdalene initiates, priestesses of Avalon, Isis,